Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Aries and I am your online BFF for today. Okay, hey girls, boys. Alright, so yeah, and for those that are not new to my channel, welcome back and thank you so much for clicking my video again and again. Thank you. Bless your day today. Push all my blessing to you. Alright, okay, so continue. Alright, by the way, I just finished my work, so my hair is a little bit messy, but it's fine. So, and I haven't eaten my dinner yet now, but it's okay. Okay, it's okay. Just for my babies, just for my love who is listening to me, for you guys, I'm gonna take just one video for today. Okay, because I wanted to share something and I wanted to deliver this message and about trying, you know, being persistent and perseverance. Okay, so I want to say that you are allowed to try. Okay, so what if the only thing that standing between you and a completely different life is the belief that you're not ready? Okay, because of that belief, you know, the belief that you feel like you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you know, you're not experienced enough, you're not confident enough, so you wait and wait. How many months has passed? How many years has passed? So you wait, you prepare, you overthink, and then you tell yourself that I will start when I feel ready, you know. But you know what if that moment never comes? What if you die the next day? I shouldn't, don't jinx. Okay, so all right, so this is actually your reminder, all right, that you are allowed to try whatever that you want. Okay, whatever that you dream, whatever that you whatever is the goal you have in your mind. Okay, so at some point in our life we started believing that trying required permissions, because I think everything started because of the school, you know, because all of us know that school do has a system that ingrained in our brain. Am I right? So where you had to raise your hand and then hoping that your answer was correct before speaking, you know. Yes, I know that. And you know, because of the exams and all, like you need to answer most of the questions correct so that you can get high grades, higher marks, you know. Yes, so it's not that it was a failure, or okay, like if you get a really low grade of marks, you fail your exams, why you get a very low mark in exams and all, and you feel like you're a loser, you feel like you yourself is stupid and dumb. So because of those system, it makes yourself to have a self-doubt, you know, because in our school educations there is no one that is guiding you that please be confident to yourself. Like there's no one tell you to be like that. Let's admit that. Is there anyone around you say that is there any subject or topics that guide you to be your truest form of yourself? Like let's say become outspoken or become more confident, like learn the psychological way of people thinking, learn to self-love yourself. Is there any subjects that tells that teach you that kind of topics and all? No, right? This is why everything is with system. Even when you go toilet, you need to ask for permission from teacher, and that's what happened in my country. All right, you want to go toilet or when you want to go to have a lunch break, lunch break, we need to queue up and all. There is a system that we have in school, all right? And then when we get back from finish our lunch break, okay, morning break, I can say it, and we need to queue up, and then the prefects, they're gonna check whether whatever is it. There is a system that going around when it comes to school, all right? But it is not that I'm saying that education's school system is bad. No, it teaches us discipline but it makes us question that, are we supposed to do anything without permissions? That is what has made us till now, it makes us questions that we believe that everything that we need to do require permissions. So that's why you always doubt yourself, like it doesn't feel ready and all. So, and because of this kind of system in our school, right, it starts to make the existence of comparison, so watching people who seems like more talented, more confident, more ready than you, more smarter than you at school, it makes you question yourself a lot by then. And especially I really hate those type of teacher, those teacher that isolate the dumb student, but actually they're not dumb, they are just slow learner, because technically humans, we have two types of learner, like whether you're a fast-paced or a slow learner, there's two types. So it's not that those people that get a low grade, they are dumb, like truly dumb and all. They still can learn. So they take a bit slower than the fast-paced learner. So there's a different kind of humans, when it comes to learning and all. So I really hate the type of teachers that only praise or compliments and kind of degrade those students that doesn't have high marks, maybe those people that get low grade and all, and they're gonna like degrade them. I don't know how, but I have seen these kind of situations right in front of my eyes, okay? But it's not at me, but just my classmates, and I really hate that kind of teacher, And this is from what I hear too, like, because that was so pathetic. Okay, I'm not saying that the student is pathetic, but I feel like that kind of teacher is so low mindset. Like, why do you do like that? Why are you comparing? Why are you degrading the student like that? So first thing first, it's not that the teacher is wrong. The teacher has, it has a lack emotional intelligence when it comes to work. That's first. And second, they are just a shit human being, okay? Because they do not have the common sense, I can say. They do not have a common sense. Why do they want to make a comparison? What's gonna happen to the child to the student that has the low grade and all? What's gonna happen to them? They're gonna start to feel demotivating, and they feel that whatever they're doing is not improving, and it means that they are not able, they're not capable of achieving the high grade students, whatever. It's not because of that. So by then, this type of people, they will step back, all right? And then you told yourself that I will just wait, until I am like them, maybe one day. But here's the truth, they didn't start really either, they just start, all right? So let's break these illusions, all right? So I still remember that, wait, let me, Okay, I'm back because just now it just finished recording by itself, so it's fine. Okay, yeah. So back to the topic. So I remember that back then I didn't have a friend. Okay, I don't have a friends. Alright, since I was primary up until secondary, I don't have a real friends. And the worst part is I always spend my time, most of my times alone, and I don't always depend on people. Because it was so terrible for me because when I was primary, I was like, I don't have friends. Like, I was like 9 years old up until 12 years old. I was isolated from everyone else, from my classmates. And back then, how the kids is, like they like to bring their phones. Like there's one time like everyone like bring their phones, I think for an extra classes or what. And I do not have a phones because I came from a family with not a very stable financially, because we're not financially stable because we have a money issue as well, my family. So I am not able to afford a phone back then. Like, it was so a thing back then. Like if you have a phone, everyone like keeps showing off and all, but I do not have that, so obviously. And and I was very, very, people say that I was very nerd and quiet, and I was weird because back then I was so, I'm not sure what people say, like I'm so thin and skinny, like a skeleton, and they keep on making fun of me and saying that it was so terrible, even though for them it was like a joke. That is a verbal bully without their realizing. So it was terrible. And so basically I just spent most of my time during break. So I was like sitting alone. Like, I mean, I got bullied a lot of time. Like there's once, like I don't want to say it because it brings a lot of bad memories to me. Like there's a basket, like someone threw a basket to me. Not a basket, it's the trash. It's a trash basket, you know that? Yeah, it was terrible for me. Sorry, wait. Okay, I'm back. So I try to collect myself, like before I start being emotional, because I feel bad for myself last time. Like I feel really, really bad. And then after that I have I think I shaved my head after when I was like 11. I shaved my head and I am bald that time. I'm bald and people make fun of me, obviously, and it was terrible. And everyone like isolate me, and I still remember that I wanted to join this group of girls, because it's like a popular kids like that in my class. I wanted to join them back then. And I tried to start a conversation. And everyone else, like, they ignore me, obviously. Like no one responding to me, even when I was talking to them. It was so bad. I'm sorry. And I told myself that, and then after that I went to the toilet just to cry. Because it was so terrible, you know. Yeah, it was terrible. So I cried out loud and all. Yeah. Yeah. And after that, I went to my high school, which is a completely different high school, obviously. And it was a completely high school, so I was expecting that I will get a friend at least, and I will start something fresh beginning, you know, a fresh beginning. It was, I want to hug that child so much, like my younger self. I wish that I can tell her that she is so precious. She's so precious that she don't deserve all of them. Like, literally. Okay, first off, I am not crying because for views or what. No. I'm just telling from my experience, and that's what my thoughts is for the past almost how many years I have think about this thing, and I need to break these illusions. Okay, alright? And I did break the illusion, okay? And I want you to listen to me, that you can break this illusion as well, okay? So what does really even feel like confidence? No clarity, zero fear, no. Because if that's the definition, then almost nobody is ever truly ready, you know. Even the people that you admire, the ones who seems like they have all it together, they feel doubt too, they question themselves, they hesitate. You know what's the difference? They move anyway. Readiness isn't the absence of fear, it's the decisions that fear doesn't get to decide for you. You need to be more, sorry, I know I look weird now, okay? So it's the decisions that you decide for yourself, right? It means that your self-love must be higher than the fear that you have, okay? So I know that this might be uncomfortable, because let's be honest, because you're not stuck because you are incapable. You're just stuck because you haven't allowed yourself to begin. Like, you've been researching, planning and thinking, you know, why, but not doing, you know, and thinking that it feels productive and all. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so it gives you the illusion of the progress without the risk of failure. You know, like that's why you don't have to do research. You don't have to prepare a planning, thinking, overthinking like that. You don't have to, because it's just an illusion of a progress. But you know, there's a cost. The longer that you stay in the preparations, the heavier that the starting begins to feel like. Because you know what, the first step is always a messy. Here's what trying actually looks like. Trying, awkward, uncertain, imperfect, because your first attempt won't match your visions, but you need to have the trust to yourself that you can do it. You can do it, and you will make it. All right. So same goes like how I start this channel. Do you think that I never in my life that I'm gonna think that I can get more than 200 subscribers? I never think of that, because I was stagnant for almost 1 year, maybe. I think it's 1 year plus. I think 1 year, more than 1 year. I was stagnant for 200 subscribers. And at first, I used to imagine that I was stagnant like for how many months that I am only stuck in 100 subscribers. And it's so messy. And it was imperfect, and I know that. But along the way, I learned to improve. So your first attempt won't match your vision. You just need to remember, I don't care if you are working on your dream body goal and you started with a lot of, you don't have enough stamina or anything, so you keep on stop. You know, whenever you like working out and you feel like, oh, so tired, and you don't even feel like you're productive enough, or maybe you want to be very smart, but when you start studying you feel so boring or you feel so sleepy. But it's okay, because you just remember, don't ever have a high expectations on your first few attempts. Please do not have that. All right, so your skills won't match your expectations. The gap, you know, the gap, it's where the people will quit. You know, because you don't close. Okay, the gap is necessary, you need to understand, because you don't close it by thinking more. Okay, you close it by doing repeatedly. So don't always think, do it. Realign your focus, your purpose first, then you can keep on do the repeated actions. You know, sometimes action might be get distracted because of what? First, lose focus. Second, you're gonna lose directions, you lose purpose. You know, you got distracted by the third party or the people that are around you. That's why your focus need to be your focus need to be strong. You know, your mindset, your focus, your purpose. What do you want to achieve this year? Stick to it. Every day, when you wake up, when you sleep, when before you're going back, you think about it. You take actions the rest of the day. Sorry, I keep okay, yeah. Alright, so trying isn't about getting it right. It is about getting it moving, you know. So a big reasons that you hesitate to try is the fear of failure and rejections. So what if it doesn't work out? You know, sometimes you think about that to yourself. What if you embarrass yourself? But let's reframe that. Okay, rejections, failure, okay, embarrassment isn't a verdict of your worth. You know, it's a feedback, it's a data, it's an information. You know, it's a redirections. Every no, okay, every failure teaches you something that a success or a one-time success that never could help, could never teach you, okay? So every failure teach you something there, and the faster that you're willing to hear no or fail, the faster that you fail, the more that you fail, the faster that you get closer to the right path. All right, so you have this image in your head, a version of you who is really confident, capable, beautiful, gorgeous babe. All right, not only gorgeous, handsome babe. All right, so a disciplined version of you, and you tell yourself that I will start when I feel like that. But that version of you, they only exist because they start, So you need to start too, because remember, confidence is built through action, and clarity is built through experience, right? And skill is built through repetitions. Same goes to talent, all right? When it comes to public speaking or whatever, that is actually not a talent. It's just a skill that is built through a repetitions, because no one is born that perfect, Yes. So you don't become that person and then try. You should try and become that person. Alright, so when you start doing something new, don't expect everyone to support you, because some people will even question, doubt, or even laugh at you, not because you are wrong, but because your growth challenge them, challenge their discomfort. So if you wait for a universal approval, you will never move. You don't need everyone to understand your path. Alright, you just need to respect your path. Okay, you need to respect it yourself. Trying doesn't mean that you have to go all in immediately. Okay, it can be small, sending that message, posting that idea, applying for that opportunity, starting before you feel ready, start to learn makeup, start to go gym, okay, start to learn cooking, okay, what else, start studying, tiny actions repeated consistently, did wait, why is my hair like that? So, and once tiny actions like repeated consistently, it creates a momentum. Okay, a momentum, it helps to build a belief in yourself, and you don't wake up confident. You just remember this, you built it step by step with patience and grace. Okay, all right, so, and oh yeah, about this thing, so remember that this one is matters. Wait, you are allowed to be bad at something. You need to remember that you are allowed to be bad at something. You are allowed to not know what you're doing. You are allowed to learn publicly, imperfectly, and slowly. And somewhere along the way, you started associating being a beginner with being inadequate. So, but every expert that you admire, they were once a beginner who kept going. Remember that, because there's no shortcut to begin with. Alright, so don't rush to skip it. Don't rush. Use it. Alright, let's talk about the other side. What happened if you don't try? Nothing change. Nothing change. You stay in the same position with the same thoughts. What if I try? But you didn't try because you're dumb. So stop thinking. Start doing. Yeah, and sorry for crying. That's all for my video. Bye bye.